There's something deeply human about the longing to be remembered, even by someone who once brought us pain. You might not believe it, but long after the storm has passed, the narcissist's thoughts often circle back to you. Not because of love in its truest sense, but because the echo of what you once gave still feeds their fragile sense of self. You see, the narcissist survives on what's called supply, that endless stream of emotional energy, validation, and reaction that keeps their hollow ego from collapsing. It doesn't matter if that energy is wrapped in affection or anger. As long as it's charged with emotion, it keeps them alive inside. The narcissist's soul is like a leaky vessel. Every drop of admiration seeps out almost as soon as it enters, forcing them to seek more. And when you were near, you felt that emptiness for a while. You became their reflection, their source of identity, their proof of existence. But when the curtain fell, when you walked away, or when they discarded you, something shifted. That steady stream of validation vanished. And for the narcissist, that absence burns like withdrawal. They don't miss you as a person. They miss the energy that surrounded you. They miss the way your presence stabilized their chaos, the way your reactions kept them feeling real. And that's why the signs of their lingering thoughts are so clear if you look closely. 1. The narcissist tries to pull you back in. When silence falls, don't be fooled by the quiet. The narcissist often reappears, maybe not immediately, but always eventually. Sometimes it's a message that seems harmless, a casual, "How have you been?" from an unknown account. Other times it's a sudden reappearance through a mutual friend. But make no mistake, this isn't nostalgia, it's strategy. They're reaching for another sip of a supply you once gave so freely. They remember how easily you loved, how earnestly you believed in their promises, the talk of forever, the shared dreams, the perfect life ahead. Those weren't vows, they were hooks. Future faking, it's called. Illusion spun to keep you invested while they fed on your devotion. And when they spot a new source of energy, someone fresh, eager, unguarded, they move toward it like a moth to light. Not necessarily because that person is better, but because they're easier to control. Yet, even as they chase new supply, they circle back. The past still haunts them, especially when the new stage doesn't sparkle quite as brightly. So if the narcissist keeps finding ways to tug at your memory, to test boundaries, to remind you they exist, it's not affection. It's hunger. 2. The narcissist stirs chaos online. One of the surest signs that you still occupy space in their mind is the shadow they cast across your digital world. You might notice a stray comment, snide, mocking, designed to sting. Or maybe they've resorted to ghostly tactics, liking your posts, watching your stories, but never daring to speak. It's not coincidence. It's control. They're trying to pull you back into the emotional arena where they always held power. When you left, it wounded their ego. That wound is called a narcissistic injury, and it festers quietly until they find a way to make you feel it too. So they poke at you, hoping you'll react. Anger, confusion, hurt, it doesn't matter. Any reaction proves you still care. That's the twisted logic of the narcissist's mind. Sometimes they hide behind fake names or vague profiles, but you can always feel it. That familiar sting, that tone only they could craft. And your intuition whispers, that's them. You're probably right. Because the narcissist would rather be hated than forgotten. 3. The narcissist flaunts their new supply. Perhaps the most obvious sign is the parade that follows the breakup. Photos flood their feed, smiling faces, grand declarations, captions soaked in exaggerated joy. To the world, it looks like love reborn. But you, who know the pattern, can see through the performance. This isn't celebration. It's retaliation. They're not trying to convince themselves they've moved on. They're trying to convince you. They want you to see, to wonder, to ache. Because if you feel anything, even pain, it means they still have power. They stage this theater with precision, posting too soon, too often, too loudly. Every post is a mirror held up to you, silently shouting, look what you lost. But the truth is, if they had really moved on, they wouldn't need an audience. They wouldn't need your eyes on their story. Their need to prove how happy they are is the loudest confession that they're not. You still linger in the corners of their mind, not as a memory of love, but as an unfinished performance they can't quite let go of. So, when you notice their attempts to reappear, provoke, or parade, remember this: you're not witnessing affection. You're witnessing emptiness trying to fill itself again. The narcissist doesn't long for reconciliation, they long for reaction. And your silence, that steady, dignified peace, is the one thing they can't control, the one loss they'll never stop thinking about. 4. The narcissist can't stop smearing your name. When a narcissist is still obsessed, you'll hear it, not in the words of love, but in the venom of lies. They'll twist stories, spread rumors, and try to turn hearts against you. Healthy souls don't waste their days poisoning the air with bitterness. But the narcissist does, because they can't bear to see you rise above what they thought they destroyed. The loss of control burns them from the inside out, and smearing you becomes their way to soothe that sting. Every insult they throw is a confession of their own defeat. They can't stand the thought that you might be doing well without them. So, they build a fantasy where you're the villain, where they're the wounded saint. They recruit anyone willing to listen, desperate to control the narrative because they've lost control of you. But don't let it shake your peace. Every rumor they start is proof that you mattered. You left a mark they can't erase, no matter how much they try to stain it. 5. The narcissist sends a song. Sometimes, the message comes wrapped in melody. Out of nowhere, a music video appears, a song from the past, one that once belonged to you too. Maybe it lands in your inbox, or maybe it shows up anonymously, but the meaning is the same. The narcissist is trying to whisper their way back into your mind. Music is their perfume, it lingers. They know certain lyrics carry memories like fingerprints. They want you to feel that familiar ache, that wave of nostalgia, the kind that makes you question your healing for just a moment. They don't need to say, "Remember me?" The song does it for them. And that's their aim, to stir emotion, to plant themselves in your thoughts once again. But don't be fooled. It isn't love that sends that song, it's manipulation dressed in sentiment. The narcissist doesn't want reconciliation, they want relevance. 6. The narcissist starts appearing by coincidence. Have you ever walked into your favorite cafe and suddenly there they are, smiling, pretending it's pure chance? It's not. The narcissist doesn't stumble into your path by accident. They calculate these encounters like a chess move, waiting for the perfect moment to make you remember. They might bring friends, act casual, or play surprised, but their motive is always the same: to be seen. They want to remind you that they still exist, that they can still disturb your peace. Even without words, their presence is a statement: I still have a hold on you. Some wait months, even years, before reappearing. Pride keeps them from reaching out directly, so they let fate do the talking. But it's not fate, it's strategy. They still see you as a source of energy, a reflection that once made them feel powerful. And every accidental run-in is another attempt to taste that power again. 7. The anonymous messages and ghostly texts. Then come the texts from nowhere. Unknown numbers. Vague messages. Hey, how have you been? From someone who never replies again. It's not random. It's the narcissist, playing puppeteer from the shadows. They want to make you uneasy, to plant a seed of doubt, to pull your focus back toward them. It's the same game they play on social media: cryptic quotes, self-pitying posts, or pictures of false happiness that scream too loudly to be real. Good people are hard to find. Some folks never appreciated what they had. You can hear their fingerprints all over those words. Those aren't reflections, they're bait. They want you to read between the lines and think of them. Every post, every text, every coincidence is another attempt to invade your peace. But what they fail to see is that your silence has become sacred. You no longer react, and that's what drives them mad. 8. the narcissist starts becoming you. This might be the strangest sign of all. The narcissist starts to copy your life. Maybe you started a new business, picked up a creative passion, or embraced a new style, and suddenly they're doing the same. At first, it feels eerie. Then, you realize it's not coincidence. It's envy mixed with obsession. They mimic you because you left a mark too deep to erase. You became something they can't replace, so they try to become you. It's their way of staying connected, of clinging to your essence even after you've gone. But imitation is just another confession of emptiness. When the narcissist mirrors you, it's not admiration. It's proof that they're still orbiting your light, even while pretending they've moved on. And beneath all these signs lies one unshakable truth: the narcissist never loved, they consumed. Love gives, but they only take. The connection was never about soul, it was about supply. The admiration, the attention, the control, it was all fuel. When you finally walk away, that fuel runs dry, and the narcissist spirals, desperate to refill it. Every smear, every song, every fake coincidence is just another attempt to drink from a well that's long been sealed. But here's the good news: you hold the power now. Their obsession is proof of your worth. You were the mirror that made them feel alive, and now your absence is their silence. So, don't take their fixation as an insult. See it as evidence of your growth. You chose peace over chaos, truth over illusion, freedom over control. And that's something the narcissist will never understand, let alone imitate. Because while they're stuck repeating the same tired patterns, you've already stepped into something far greater: your healing. And that, my friend, is the kind of victory no one can fake.